Use the fancy gavel.
Yeah.
Gavel sound.
Good evening, and welcome. I'm calling to order the meeting of the Board of Education tonight, January 15th, 2026. It is 7:05. And for our first agenda item, we have a Pledge of Allegiance, and it's going to be done by a student tonight. So if you want to come over to the microphone, that would be great. Please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, our second agenda item is a meeting open to the public. So this portion of the meeting is set aside for any comments from the public. We just ask that speakers identify themselves with a name, address of where they live, and then try to limit their comments to 2 minutes on any topic. Is there anyone here that wishes to address the board this evening?
All right.
Idan.
Idan Bosley, this one rookie. Idan Bosley, 28 Westridge Drive, student at Rock Hill High School. Many of you guys are pretty familiar with me by now. So good evening all. I just wanted to share a quick update on our Model UN Club. So today they're actually participating at the Yale Model UN Conference as we speak. So they're competing. I think they're in their first committee session soon, so they'll be debating global topics there. And I really wanted to share this moment because 3 years ago, I went with my father and a couple other students from Rocky Hill as an independent delegation separate from the school. So my dad commuted all those 3 days to go to Yale. And now 3 years later, we have our school being represented by advisors. Thanks to Mr. Dudas, thanks to Mr. Fody, and the entire Board of Education, thanks to Dr. Zito. We've been able to do it 3 years now, so there's so much progression in the club. And I know as today we're voting on the Boston Model UN trip, I obviously encourage you guys to vote in favor of that because we have learned so much from this experience. I have learned so much, and we're only going to continue to grow as a club and as a school climate, and I can't wait to see where the future is going. And funny story, I created a petition 3 years ago for the same club. I got 209 signatures, and one of those signatures happened to be a mom of a student, and she commented on my petition saying that my son is 11 years old. When he gets to high school, he would love to try this. And I'm proud to say that today he is in Yale at the Model UN Conference, participating and delivering on the promise that he gave. So I'm really, really glad to talk about Model UN today and to see the growth. And hopefully we can continue this club's growth and it can become more prosperous in the future. And thank you guys for everything. So I really, really appreciate it. Yeah.
Is there anyone else that wishes to address the board? Okay, seeing no one, we are going to turn the microphone over to report for student representatives at the high school.
Good evening, everyone. As we move further into January, it's hard to believe that the first semester is already coming to an end. It's been a busy few months filled with learning, growth, and opportunities for our students to excel both inside and outside in the classroom. On January 6th, many of our students took the ASVAB test, which helps them explore their strengths and consider potential career paths, whether it's in the military, college, or other future career paths. It's great to see students taking advantage of our tools that help them plan ahead. On January 17th, our athletics department hosted a CCC breakfast to honor 17 all-conference students-athletes. These students have shown exceptional dedication, teamwork, and skill, and it was inspiring to celebrate their achievements. Finally, our winter sports teams are in full swing. From basketball and wrestling to swimming and hockey, our students continue to work hard and represent our school with pride. I encourage everyone to support them at their games and matches. While this is a short update, I want to share these highlights of the month as we wrap up the first semester and look forward to opportunities ahead in the new year. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to agenda item number 3, it's approval of minutes. We have quite a number of minutes that were attached in your board packet. December 18th, Board of Education meeting, which was a regular meeting. January 6th was a Board of Education special meeting. The 8th was our voice committee meeting. I do want to just let you know that there are 2 copies of that. I had taken a peek at it and let Sandy know that I needed to amend Mr. Shabra was not able to make that meeting, but I was sitting, not in place of him, but as just board chair at that meeting, so you'll have 2 copies in your board packet. And January 13th, which was a curriculum meeting that just occurred the other evening along with the facilities. Can I have, is there any questions or comments or anything else that you see that needs to be amended? Nothing? Okay, excellent. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes as stated on the agenda for this evening?
Motion to move approval of the minutes as stated by Ms. Chairwoman.
Thank you, Ms. Manella. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second, thank you, Ms. Dudianowitz. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, motion passes. We are 8-9 tonight. Okay, moving on to correspondence for Dr. Zito. Are there any correspondence?
Yes. One item this evening. Sadly, need to announce the planned retirement of Kirsten Hassett, been a teacher in this district for 37 years, dedicated, loyal, committed educator. And she formally notified me a couple of days ago, so she is going to be greatly missed. I can't believe she's been here 37 years, but she has, and she's bittersweet, but ready to move on and do some new things with family, spend a little more time with her parents and her grandkids on the other end of the equation. And I know she's going to be missed. She'll finish out the year with us. If you see her, congratulate her. It's a well-deserved impending retirement for Miss Hassett.
Well, congratulations on 37. Yeah, 37 years is quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, she's a fantastic person. So, I'm sad to share that news,
Yeah.
but it's bittersweet.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Zito. Moving on to agenda item number 5, the consent calendar. We have approval tonight of the West Hill Roof educational specifications. I'm going to open the floor. I know you received something in your packet, but I didn't know if there was to be more discussion before we move to consent calendar.
I mean, we reviewed this. Ron is out tonight. He's not feeling well. We reviewed the ed specs at the facilities meeting earlier this week. I don't see any problem with it. It's pretty standard. It's a roof job. I know that the board has requested the digital blueprints, and we will get those prints out next week. Ron has reached out to Mr. Jakunski, the architect, for that, but it's a pretty straightforward project. I'm recommending that you pass it on the consent calendar tonight, so that we go to the next steps with the resolutions through the town council and get everything running, get the bids out there, hopefully in mid-March, and get this thing rolling on the last, as soon as school ends, get this roof done over the summer.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just add to that, Dr. Zito. Thank you for the summary. But yeah, it's just so people that don't know, it's just one step in the process of getting the grant application put in and the grant approved for the money to get reimbursed for the money from the state for the roof. So it's just kind of one step in the process. It's pretty straightforward. It's a one-page brief explanation of the again, replacement of the roof at West Hill, the plan for that and what the project entails. So just kind of a step in the process, and then it kind of move on from there. And the goal is to be out to bid, what was it, Brian? I think, March, going out to bid in March or so. So thanks.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Okay, can I have a motion to approve the consent calendar for West Hill Roof?
So moved.
Mr. Addy, thank you. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Kosker, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Okay, motion passes 8-9. Thank you. Moving on to committee reports. Number 6, curriculum. Ms. Dudanowitz.
Thank you. The curriculum committee met this past Tuesday, January 13th. I'd like just to provide a brief update. It was a pretty lengthy meeting, so I'm going to try to keep this short. The district continues to expand curriculum, connected enrichment opportunities, particularly in STEM. STEM DOT programming will be available to students both at Rocky Hill High through the career and technical education courses and at Griswold Middle School through an after-school STEM program. These efforts focus on early exposure and sustained interest in career pathways such as engineering and architecture. Career exploration has also been expanded through the Career Center with the use of interest inventories and discovery education resources, which will better align student interests with learning pathways. Rocky Hill High School has partnered with the Middlesex Chamber of Commerce to explore additional pathways, mentorship opportunities, and student ambassador roles. This work has been led by Jordan Chagall, and he has done really, really amazing work with the Career Center at the high school, so huge kudos to him. And he really is demonstrating strong momentum and a shared commitment to student engagement and future readiness. Regarding school climate, family communication, and restorative practices, as part of our legislative required safe school climate work, each school now has an identified website, a dedicated Safe School Climate webpage to improve transparency and communication. The district continues to roll out the restorative practices training focused on relationship building, accountability, and restorative responses to conflict. All schools have also developed tiered discipline charts to support consistent decision-making while maintaining flexibility to meet individual needs. Student supports and multi-tiered system of supports, MTSS. This still remains a priority for the district. MTSS provides 6 to 8 week cycles of academic, behavioral, and social emotional support for students through early identification and intervention. At both the high school and Griswold Middle School, progress monitoring tools have been implemented and staffing has been added to strengthen intervention supports. At Griswold Middle School, a needs assessment has identified priority goals, and the district is working with a CREC consultant through a phased instructional support process currently focused on ELA. Previously, they've already done a couple other subjects, including math, social studies, and foreign languages. In closing, this work reflects a coordinated district approach to student support through meaningful enrichment pathways, continued investment in school climate, and strengthened intervention systems. The curriculum committee remains committed to monitoring the implementation through staff feedback and partnering with administration to make adjustments as needed. I welcome any additions from other committee members, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Good job.
No questions. Thank you very much. Moving on to facilities, Mr. Kosker.
Yes, we had a meeting of facilities on Tuesday. It was a very brief meeting. I think an all-time record of 7 minutes. It was very short, which says a lot because I was the chair and was talking, so it was 7 minutes. It was just simply to talk about the West Hill roof. So we approved that, and that was it for this month. I'm sure we will be busy this spring with CIP work, so we will have some meetings planned once budget season gets in full session, but that is all for tonight.
Very good. Finance.
Yes, I have, we have not met, but I have some news that we did, all of the board members received our budget books and wanted the public to know that we will be holding the budget workshops for, on January 27th at 6:30, January 29th at 6:30, and also February 5th at 6:30. So please stay tuned for those budget workshops. And that's it for tonight.
Thank you. Policy.
No update at this time. We're trying to schedule our first meeting.
Special education.
We have not met since the last meeting.
Rec Council.
So yesterday, there was a Finance and Audit Committee meeting via Zoom. Covered agenda items focusing on reviewing key financial documents and audit reports. It was a quick, not even 15-minute meeting. They reviewed a document which included accounts requiring council approval due to recommended increases. There is no questions or objections from the group. Discussion of the auditor's governance letter, which reported a successful audit for fiscal year 2025 with no significant issues. And then they discussed a letter that explained the audit process, which was also accepted without further discussion. And then they also provided their nearly 200-page budget report. While they did not review it during the meeting, it was noted that it will be reviewed in depth in the February council meeting. So I get to sit through two budget meetings. Yay me. And they have a meeting on February 10th, which I will attend their legislative forum at the Capitol. We're supposed to be discussing legislative priorities, and their next council meeting is January 21st and February 18th, and I plan on attending both.
Thank you. School safety,
We have not had a meeting yet.
technology,
Same.
and voice.
Okay, so VOICE, again, it stands for Values of Inclusion, Community, and Equity, just a reminder there. On Thursday, January 8th, the VOICE Committee held a public meeting focused on amplifying the voices of families in our community. The purpose of the meeting was to listen, to learn, and to better understand the experiences of our students and families so that those experiences could be guided, can use as a guide, meaningful progress moving forward. This focus aligns directly with the Board of Education's policies and with state and federal laws that prohibit discrimination and harassment against members of protected classes. We believe that no student should ever endure negative, demeaning, or harmful language and behaviors in our schools. Dr. Diaz shared an overview of the district's ongoing initiatives, including the recent Words Matter student assemblies, which launched a district-wide campaign promoting civility, kindness, and respect. The PowerPoint presentation is available on our district's website under the Board of Ed tab, and you just click on Voice. During the public comment, families and community members shared powerful experiences, including incidents including racial slurs and other harmful language, and the impact these words have on students' mental and emotional well-being. It was noted that many of these incidents happen on school buses or outside of school walls, highlighting the importance of the Words Matter initiative extending beyond the school campus. It is unacceptable for any student to feel uncomfortable or unsafe because of their skin color, religion, weight, clothing, or any personal characteristics. Discrimination, bullying, teasing, and the use of racial slurs, regardless of intent, have no place in our schools and will not be tolerated. While this meeting marked an important first step, it also highlighted the much-needed work needed ahead. As next steps, the committee plans to meet again with the administration to discuss further actions, including expanded mental health supports for students, and will hold another Voice Committee meeting in the near future. The Board of Education, district leadership, and building administrators remain committed to listening to feedback from students, families, staff as this work continues. Continued community input is essential, and families are encouraged to stay engaged as we move forward together to ensure all students feel safe, respected, and supported. And now, if I may, I want to speak directly to our students, especially those who may be feeling like they don't belong, and to those who want to help their friends but aren't always sure how. I want you to hear this clearly. The world is not meant to be on your shoulders. You are not responsible for fixing everything. That is our job as adults. We need to step up and do better. If you're hurting, please talk to an adult you trust, and if you see a friend who is struggling, remind them of their worth and let an adult know. No one has to carry that weight alone. Feeling like you don't fit in does not mean you don't belong. It means you were never meant to blend in. You are made to stand out, to do something only you can do. Stand tall in who you are because ordinary people don't change the world. So please be proud, be different, lift each other up, speak up, ask for help, but remember, you don't need to do this alone. I'm happy to take any questions or concerns from the board, and any committee members have anything else to add.
I'll just add one quick comment as a member of that committee. I thought it was a great meeting. Again, I think great first steps. Thank you for the summary. I thought the summary was great. Some very powerful, comments and messages from the people who shared their messages that night. I said it at the meeting. I was brought to tears more than once. And so a lot of powerful stuff, a lot of work to be done ahead. But again, kudos to Dr. Diaz, to the administration, to Dr. Zito, and the work that's already been done. And, starting not 6 months ago or so. I mean, a lot's happened pretty quickly, and we're moving in the right direction. So appreciate all the work being done and more work to be done, and we'll be listening to you all. So thank you.
I agree. Thank you, Mr. Kosker and Ms. Morfaya, and of course, Dr. Diaz. All right, moving on. We have no unfinished business, so we're going to move on to new business, which is the approval of the overnight field trip to Boston University, and I believe that is a Model UN trip. And Mr. Fode is here. Come on up, Mr. Fode.
Good evening, everyone. Oh, Don, you want to come up here? Huh? Yeah, come on up here. You're like my right-hand man anyway. So sometimes, this guy next to me, sometimes he makes himself look way better than me. So, the Model UN is a big a club for us right now. They have a huge voice in our building, and you've supported them. They've gone to the Boston trip for 3 years. And they would like to go February 6th to February 8th. They go to the Marriott Copley Hotel, and they have 13 students that go, and they compete all day long. So, hopefully you consider allowing them to go this year. It kind of speaks to the type of kids they are. They went out and they fundraised because they realized that it can get costly going to Boston, And so they went and they fundraised some money to help defer the cost. And so, I'd like to support them as the principal. I'd like to support Adant. I think it's a great cause, and I'm hoping that the program can continue to flourish, even though he won't be here next year. So, yeah, go ahead.
Just to add, so we did fundraise. We raised $2,800 that we'll be using to different events, such as our Yale trip. Some of the funding we will distribute there. Also, we can also contribute some to the Boston trip as well. And we also want to contribute it to our conference that we are hosting, which is March 29th. So you guys can all save that date, March 29th. We have an official website, rhhsmun.com. And it's a great website. I think you guys should all take a look at it. And yeah, this trip has been so special to us. It's been special to many of us, and we've grown as leaders there. So I would love for you guys to approve our trip again. So thank you. Yeah.
Any questions at all?
Can you just repeat the date in March?
February 6th to February 8th.
No, the March
March
date that
29th.
we're
March
hosting.
29th.
29th.
Sunday, March 29th. Yep. And if you go on the website, you'll be able to find the full conference schedule. And
It's early too, right? It's like 9
Right.
o'clock or something.
it's around 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
yep.
I thought it was.
Do you have an idea how many schools will be coming this year?
Hopefully, so that's another thing to add is right now we don't have a full confirmation because we just started registration, start of 2026. But if you could all, reach out to other Board of Education members in different towns, other school teachers in different towns, that we're having this event, it would be really helpful in getting the word out there, and we could get as many schools as possible. So if you could reach out to, our Wethersfield, Berlin, Newington, Cromwell, schools in our region, even in other parts of Connecticut, we could get a lot of schools to attend this event, and it would be, I would say, a really, really strong event in Connecticut because they don't have something as big of the size that we want to do. So getting 10 schools would be really great, and it would show some, Connecticut coming together. So I encourage all of you to reach out to as many people as possible, and I would love to, connect. We can connect afterwards and see which way to go.
If you have a flyer
I do have
that
a
you're going to
flyer.
be
I have the
making,
website.
could you please
Yeah.
send it along to the board? Because there is a listserv through CABE that I can contact other boards
Perfect.
through that, and I can get the word out.
Perfect. Yep, we can do
So
that.
be more than happy to do that. Any other questions? Go ahead, Mr.
Website again was
Clemens.
RHS.
Oh, rhhsmu.com. I really, one of our members, Suhan, he spent in total maybe 40, 50 hours working on this website. It's fully fleshed out. So definitely take a look at it. Big congrats to him and big thanks to him. So yeah.
Any other questions? Mr. Addy?
So I'm looking here at the form, and it says that you have 13 students and 1 chaperone. Looks like you have 6 hotel rooms with students doubled up. The 13th student will be staying with the teacher. Is that how I take it, and is that acceptable?
No, and there's 2 chaperones that will be going.
2, okay,
Mr. Papsiak and Mr. Dudas will be going.
okay. So one room will have 3 kids?
Mr. Frank, I'm pretty.
Oh, for
Boston,
the
yeah.
Boston one, it's going to be Mr. Papsiak.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, Mr. Frank is with them at Yale this weekend. They
I
had the,
think it's.
Thank you.
So I'm still confused about
Yeah,
your
total
question,
13.
because that didn't really answer the question.
Well, one room
Is
would
it-
have three students, I guess.
One room's got 3 kids, right? Probably.
Okay.
Pull out a
Not
cot.
staying with an adult,
Pull out a cot.
correct?
That's what when I'm looking at the numbers.
Yeah,
that's
I
how
didn't
it-
hear a
Pull out a
affirmative.
cot.
answer on that.
We'll get it from,
We-
yeah.
We're just,
Make sure that there is no student in the room with an adult. That is not acceptable. That will not happen.
That's what I figured, okay.
As far as,
there's always going to be 2 chaperones.
there's always two chaperones, 9, 10 students. You gotta have 2 anyway.
Yep.
because if something happens, we want 2 adults. If somebody needs to get medical treatment, second adult stays behind with the students.
I think the question is, the form
But
says
the-
2 in a room.
The odd number student, Mr. Frody,
They're working out the details.
working up.
That's why, there's a
It's the
confusion.
UN, not the math
So
club.
that one odd student cannot stay overnight, so the parents are going to take them back home and then drive up the next day, because it's a religious
Well,
thing.
I think they might stay, they might buy a
They might buy
separate
their own room.
their own hotel room because for religious reasons, and that's how it functioned last year. So it'll still function as 6 rooms, 2 students in each room based on gender, and then having that extra student stay with her family.
Makes sense.
Because of
Very
religious
good.
concerns. So that should clarify it, yeah.
Thank you for that clarification.
And again, the 2 chaperones are Mr. Papsiak and Mr. Frank. They
So does this-
donated their time for the entire weekend to go.
Does
those
this
2 trips
form
come
need to
out.
be refilled out with a different name, or can it be whited out, or?
We will amend it for the record.
Okay.
You guys are just really voting on the trip.
Okay. Are there any other questions or concerns about this Model United trip?
I just,
Go ahead, Mr.
I
Schaber.
just want to make one comment. I attended the last year's convention you had on a Sunday. It was a great show. It was educational for me. I learned a lot. You guys did a great job.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, well, seeing no other comments or concerns or questions, can I have a motion to approve this overnight field trip to Boston University for Model UN?
Motion to approve the overnight field trip to Boston University as outlined on the request.
Thank you, Mr. Kosker. Can I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Schaber. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed or abstaining? No? Okay, motion passes. All right,
Have fun
there
in
you
Boston.
go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Just one question, if I may. John,
Yeah,
I need, if this form has different adults going, I need it revised,
okay,
because right now it indicates that it's Mr. Dudas and Mr. Frank.
okay.
And I just need the correct name, so if something happens, I know who we're contacting.
Correct, okay. I'll get that for you.
All right, moving on to agenda item number 18, board discussion of meetings, schedule, and locations. I'm going to, I was asked to place this on our agenda, so I'm going to open the floor up to Mr. Kosker and let him jump in since this was his request.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I asked this to be on the agenda, having been on the board for only 2 years, so I'm still a fairly new member. But just thinking about some of the subcommittee meetings, our regular meetings are held, generally speaking, the 3rd Thursday of the month. It does fluctuate a little bit, but those meetings and dates are planned well in advance. We plan them now for next school year, so they're planned well in advance. And sometimes are, in the previous 2 years I've been on the board, the first 2 years, scheduling of the meetings is challenging. And it often happens very quick because there's a lot of players that need to be invited and we're trying to line everyone up. And so often it's, I wouldn't say last minute, but it's shorter notice than I think it makes it difficult sometimes to clear your schedule to make the meeting. So I wanted to just bring up the idea of maybe a couple thoughts I've had, and I just wanted to have a conversation with the board about it. One was having set days of the month. I know that's not always easy because there's lots of things happening, both district-wide and personal lives, et cetera. But if we could plan out in some way that the first Tuesday and the second or third Wednesday or something. I don't know what they are. We could figure that out, what works best around calendars, but that was one thought I had, was around scheduling the dates of them. I will say that it's been better in this last, few months that we've had more notice of them, which is really helpful. I know in the past we haven't always been able to poll. Now, the committees are fairly small. They're 3 or 4 members, they're pretty small. So if we could poll the members, like, are you available for the meetings? Because it's challenging when we schedule a meeting and there's 3 of us on the committee and one can't make it. That's, not the best situation. So anyway, so yeah, just some of those ideas, and I'm really put it on the agenda, or asked for it to be put on the agenda, just to have the conversation with other board members and get their thoughts and ideas, and I figured we could come together to talk about some ideas to make this a little bit better. So that was on the scheduling. On the location also, I know generally speaking, our full board meetings are held here at Town Council Chambers. On occasion, we'll have our committee meetings or full meetings at Rocky Hill High School. As far as I know, those are the only two locations that can record and either stream or record meetings for recording later. We do have meetings in other locations, Mocher School, GMS Library. We've had a lot of different locations over the last 2 years. So just thinking about, can we think about what locations would allow for, if there are other locations that allow for recording of meetings, because I think that's always helpful to capture a record of the meeting for public that wants to hear what happens at these meetings. The minutes, as we know, are usually pretty light on the details, though the last couple of meeting minutes I thought had some more detail, so I appreciate that on a side note. But anyway, so those are my thoughts, just to kind of get us started, and yeah, I'll defer back to you, Madam Chair.
Would anybody have any, would you like to jump in and give any comments on Mr. Cosker's suggestions? I think we've tried really hard to make sure that we're, looking at the district calendar. Mark and I have kind of worked on that because we don't want people missing out on basketball games or concerts, things like that, that, you know, your children might be involved in. So we're really trying to be cognizant of that before we schedule meetings. I think right now, I think a lot of our meetings have been scheduled on a Tuesday or a Thursday. And we're trying to work around work schedule as well, like starting at a 5:30 or 6 o'clock to accommodate everyone. Feel free, if you want to digest the suggestions from Mr. Kosker. If you have any other suggestions and you want to send them across email, please do. You know, I think we're trying to make this easy on everyone. I do appreciate the time and effort that you've put into committee meetings, so we do want to make it easy on everyone. Okay? All right, thank you. We're going to move on to agenda item number 19, and that is Dr. Diaz.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. The Connecticut State Department of Education has developed the Connecticut Special Education Employment System, CCES. And this is a free statewide recruitment platform designed to support school districts in attracting high-quality professionals to the field of special education. And this is a one-stop resource that allows districts to post and manage special education employment opportunities efficiently. We have registered our district with CCES, and we are currently utilizing the platform to recruit for a behavioral specialist position, and we anticipate to using this resource to support future recruitment efforts as well. Presently, there's 128 school districts statewide that are actively using this system, so this is good in regards to recruiting the best of the best across the state. I would like to thank Stephanie Malkin and her connection with Renee Deneno and Kenway's Cause. The Rocky Hill Public Schools has been invited to participate in an upcoming interview on Hello Connecticut on Channel 3 next week. Erin Harold will highlight the Pup Treat fundraiser and the work of the Animal Advocacy Club, which is a partnership with the Rocky Hill High School Animal Advocacy Club group. And 20% of each pup treat bag sold will benefit Kenway's Cause, which supports animal welfare through medical care, rescue, and adoption. This month, the Dream and Pathway staff hosted the first Breakfast with Friends initiative, and it was really well received by all students. This program recognizes students of the month for meeting personal goals and demonstrating growth, perseverance, and commitment to themselves. The district will also recognize 2 students from one of our schools each month. We hope that this will begin next month for their outstanding civility. This is all part of the Voice Committee work and the civility framework. These are students who consistently demonstrate kindness, responsibility, and respect for others, helping to foster safe, welcoming, and inclusive school environments where all members of our community feel valued. They show that being kind to others is what really makes you the cool kid, and we want that. Additionally, we have to schedule a policy subcommittee meeting. There's quite a few policies, reviews, to discuss the recommended policy updates from Shipman and Goodwin. And this concludes my report. Are there any questions that I may answer? Yes.
I'm
Ms.
sorry,
Mel.
I missed the date. When is it going to be aired on Hello Connecticut?
It's next week. I don't have the date. I can get the date for you.
Okay, thank you.
Or maybe even, I know in the past when we've had TV interviews, maybe we can even get a link sent to us afterwards, if possible. That might be easier.
Absolutely, I will work on that.
Did I see some other hands up that had questions?
I had the same question.
Oh, same question. Mr. Kosker, your hand was up too? No? Mr. Kosker, no? Okay. Anyone else? No? I just want to say, I know, Dr. Diaz, you are currently our interim assistant superintendent for personnel and student services, but you have spent a lot of time making sure that all of our ducks are in a row as far as reporting out on the Dream, Cafe, and making sure that we're still hiring some really great, or looking to hire some really great educational, teachers and in our district. You've kept us up to date. Obviously, policy, good to note that we've got to get a policy meeting on the calendar. But thank you for highlighting all of these wonderful things in our district and for keeping us afloat. So we appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, if there's no other questions or comments, I'm going to move on to Assistant Superintendent of Finance and Operations, Dr. Nozick.
Hi, good evening, everybody. In your board packets, you have the regular financial report reflecting year-to-date figures for the month ending December 31st, 2025. There are several line items that I wanted to highlight. Line 114, salaries for substitute teachers, currently reflecting a deficit due to the need to utilize daily subs in addition to our budgeted building subs. Line 205, Medicare is currently reflecting a deficit due to the need to employ additional staff beyond original projections. It's a small overage, and we've hired only a couple of people, so that's the difference there. The next one, group insurance, line 210, is currently reflecting deficit due to new staff enrolling, plan changes, and in addition, one of the things that we were looking at was, and we'll get into this in the next couple of weeks with the budget presentations, but this is really a forecast. So last year during the budget process, we budgeted 8.5% increase for insurance. We didn't have that number until much later after the budget was adopted, I believe, and that came in at 9.4. So we're currently reflecting in just over a $400,000 deficit. We were about $160,000 in the red last year at this time, so we do expect to make up some ground between now and the end of June. But I would anticipate probably between $300,000 and $325,000 that we'll have to make up in other line items throughout the budget. Line 235, the pension for non-certified, currently reflecting deficit due to unanticipated pension costs with the hiring of a couple new employees. And then, again, this will be on there probably until right through June. Line item 561, tuition, currently reflecting a deficit. This does include tuition for magnet schools and students with special needs. And of course, there will be future offsets against the deficit from the excess cost reimbursement grant that we get from the state. I believe the first check that we'll get is in February, and then the other one, I believe, is it in March or June?
May, usually.
It's in May. We'll split the difference there. And of course, we'll continue to look at those numbers and keep you informed on a monthly basis.
Any questions or comments for Dr. Nozick? Go ahead, Mr. Kosker.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. This is great. And I assume that you'll be, with this good work we have in this budget book, I'm sure there's some good stuff in here about the group insurance and the estimates and that. And I know it's always speaking from experience back in the day when I was responsible for doing it for business, you never know, right? So it's very difficult to predict. I would assume you're trying to build in a little extra this year, or do you have estimates? Usually the kind of, there's some wins out there on which way things are going and what estimates they feel like are looking like for next year. Are you getting a sense of that yet?
We are. The state is also aware that there are a lot of districts that are part of the state partnership plan, and they realize that when these projections come out, most towns have already adopted a budget. And so they've made a conscious effort to try and get those numbers to us a little bit earlier. We've already had one meeting with the state partnership plan advisors. We have another one scheduled next week. So they gave us a number a couple weeks ago. Then they'll give us another number. They're gonna continue to fine tune it. So we'll know a little bit more next week. And then after that, instead of waiting until, I want to say it was March last year when we got our number, they're going to try and get it to everybody by February, which may or may not be great for us still, but it's better than, February is better than March. And if it is a major adjustment, we can always revisit those things. But I think we'll have a better idea. But in terms of building in anything, I can't say that's been.
It's not easy. It's not easy, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Yeah, and just looking, I mean, 325,000 sounds like a huge number, and it is a big number, but it's also a percentage of a really big number, which is a total of, millions of dollars for group health insurance for the whole district. So percentage-wise, it's in the single digit percentage-wise.
Yeah, it's a razor-thin margin all the time.
Right. The number looks bigger than the percentage would once we get into the details later, but awesome, thank you.
Sure.
Any other questions or comments? All right. Thank you, Dr. Nozick. Moving on to Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction. Ms. Durand is.
Durand is a little bit under the weather tonight. I'm sorry. Asked me to do a couple updates for Mr. Durand here. So on Tuesday, June 13th, as you know, we had a Board of Ed Curriculum Subcommittee meeting where Mr. Durand provided updates on several board initiatives. The Career Center, Safe School Climate Implementation, and Year 2 of the Teacher Evaluation Program were highlighted. This month, students are completing the mid-year assessments. In addition, the ML students are taking the language acquisition, the Lost Link assessment, grades K through 12. High school students start their midterms next week, and tomorrow staff will engage in their third study session on the Restorative Practices book. This is the book here, Restorative Circles in Schools. Board members received copies. Tonight we brought copies for Mr. Addy and Ms. Studanowitz because they were not on the board during the last term, so everybody should have a copy of this book at this point. Wendy also wanted me to inform you that the District Wellness Committee met this week to review the upcoming February Wellness Professional Development Day for staff. This is an opportunity for staff members to focus on maintaining their own health and well-being. We have a wide variety of activities planned with many new sessions. Mr. Durand looks forward to reporting more information at the February board meeting after staff have participated in the Wellness Day that we'll be providing for them. So that's her quick update. Hopefully she'll be feeling better in a couple of days, but was not able to make it tonight.
Can I just make a comment about the book? I believe we got the blue book. There's a blue book out there that's for teachers and administrators about restorative circles, so it is not that
We have
one
more
unless
blue
it's
books on
changed.
order.
Okay,
And I gave, actually, so the two new board members might be ahead of you because they got two books tonight.
is one blue and one green?
No,
Or no?
one is
Oh,
red
okay.
and one is green, right?
Okay.
One is red, one
The
is
blue
green.
books are on back order,
Okay.
so we will make sure every board member has all three copies of the books.
Okay, all right. I thought maybe
Lot of
they
reading,
changed
man.
the
No, this is
covers
the
or
one, I mean,
something. Okay,
This was texting today, and someone who's not feeling well, and I'm scrambling
okay.
around trying to cover all the bases today, so.
no worries.
Yeah, but this is one of the books that focused on.
Okay,
So we'll
Very
get
good.
you guys a copy of all three.
thank you.
I do
Appreciate
think
that.
Kristen and Brian are a little ahead, they have two already.
Okay, get reading. You can report out.
Read 1 to get to 2 to 3?
Yeah, it's sequential.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think they're sequential.
No,
Just wanna make sure.
no.
You got to report back next.
Yeah, no.
You're right.
We'll let you know.
Okay, moving on to Superintendent's report. Dr. Zito again.
Okay, very briefly. So I just want to thank Dr. Nozick Cynthia Cotto, Diane Kraus, Dipti Sandhu, Gina Munch, Rupali Brar, Sandy Mall, and Tom Kennison for their efforts to pull the book together. You have your budget books. It's the first time for Scott through this process. He's been working really hard. I think I've been able to give you some pretty good advice on some things we needed to work on, and we had a pretty in-depth conversation about health insurance today, Mr. Kosker, so we are monitoring those numbers. But it was a major effort like it is every year, and just really positive spirit and collaborative teamwork. I appreciate the folks in the office who put all this together. You have your books in front of you. We know the workshop dates. We start on January 27th. I do anticipate, after speaking with Ms. Lafredo, and I agree with her initial prediction, that we'll use all 3 nights. So January 27th, January 29th, and February 5th, we start at 6:30. As you dig into these books over the next 12 days, if you have the time and you have the inclination, send the questions to Scott and to me in advance. What we've been doing probably for the last 5 or 6 years is if you find you have questions, we can come prepared at the session, and once we go through the overall initial presentation, we can start to address specific questions, and it speeds things along for us. So that's always a good thing to do. We'll be prepared to the best of our ability to respond to questions. Again, if I get a question at 5:15 before a 6:30 meeting, it's harder to respond, but if we have it a couple days in advance, we can typically pull that information together. And the other update, just as a tentative, but we have him scheduled, is Nick Caruso, who you all met with for the required CABE training session. He's the Associate Executive Director of CABE. Ms. Lafredo had asked him to come back and meet with the board to review Robert's Rules of Order. So, Tom, this is a big advance notice on this. We were able to schedule him for February 19th in advance of the regular meeting at 7. So I think we have him set for 5:30, which gives us about an hour and a half the same night as your regular February meeting to, again, go over Robert's Rules of Order with Nick Caruso. That's my update.
Thank you, Dr. Zito, and thank you for mentioning our Robert's Rules training. Okay, our last agenda item is Board Chair Report. I will make my report pretty quick, but I wanted to also highlight our budget season coming up. So since November 20th, the board has made deliberate and meaningful commitments to strengthen community awareness, foster open dialogue, and increase clarity and accountability in our committee work. And I would really like to commend all of my fellow committee members. You have been very active in participating in all of your committees. I appreciate your time, your preparation, your willingness to engage in thoughtful questions that have been instrumental in moving our work forward. The progress that we've made is a direct result of your dedication and your shared belief that we can work together and make our district stronger. As we enter the budget season, community engagement becomes even more critical. I encourage residents to listen in to our live stream meetings or watch the recordings when possible. Join us in person. We'll be right here in this room. The discussions surrounding the operating budget and capital improvement plan are very important, and hearing them firsthand provides valuable insight to both the challenges that we face and the priorities that we're setting out for our district. For some time now, our budget has not been fully funded, and we recognize the impact it has had on our district. It is my hope that through continued open lines of communication with the town council, the mayor, and the town manager, the proposed budget that will be presented soon will be highly considered, including the additions that directly address the needs of our students, educators, and staff. These investments are not only about funding, they are about enriching the educational experience and supporting the overall well-being of every student in our schools. Our schools truly are the cornerstone of this community, and investing in them is an investment in our students' future. We remain committed to keeping the community informed and engaged throughout this process. Transparency will continue to guide our work, and we will ensure that residents are aware of both our requests and the reasoning behind them. And finally, I'd like to extend a special thank you to our school liaisons, Amy Forcier and Counselor Mimi Thoreau. Your dedication and communication serve as vital connections between the Board of Education and the Town Council, which is helping to ensure that the needs of our district are clearly articulated and understood. Thank you. And we'll see you on the 27th for our first budget meeting. Again, as I always do, I'd like to open the floor to anyone on the board that would like to make any other comments this evening before we close. Mr. Addy.
You first, Mr. Addy.
You got your hand up first.
Alphabetical, thank you. So, being the new person on the board, I just have a general question. Dr. Diaz-Santiago, I see, has interim written in front of her position. What's the plan, or is that in the works? I'm just wondering. I've seen that in front of her title for many months now, and I don't know what the plan is, if that is part of the budget.
Yeah, it is. You'll see it, so advance notice on your budget, because you didn't see it, you didn't get your books till tonight, but last year, the board had asked me, in preparing the budget, to consider creating 2 positions. So you'll see in the cover letter that there's a recommendation to eliminate the position of Assistant Superintendent for Personnel and Student Services and create 2 positions. One is a Director of Personnel and Performance Management, kind of like an HR position, but also someone that would be able to work directly with principals, help out with staff evaluations, and be involved with some of the equity, diversity type work that's going on with the Voice Committee and so forth. The second position would be a secondary special ed supervisor. We have secondary, we don't have that position right now. We have administrative support in the area of special education at the 3 elementary schools. This would be a shared position between the high school and the middle school, almost like an assistant principal, but focused exclusively on assisting with special ed issues, which is a big workload. We've essentially doubled the number of special education students in the district over the last 12 to 14 years, but the overall enrollment has stayed about the same. But we've gone from about 230 kids to well over 400, like 450. So you can read about it in the letter. We'll be discussing it in depth, but that's just kind of an overview.
Thank you.
Well, also, from a contractual standpoint, Dr. Diaz is still entitled to her position at Mosier School if she chooses to go back as principal. Mr. Casello right now is the interim principal. He is contractually entitled to his assistant principal position at that school. And we have a teacher serving on an interim capacity right now, and she would go back to a teaching position depending on how things shake out. So no one, I don't plan on anyone being out of a job, but we have to see how the posting process goes, how the budget process goes, and where the hiring might go if the positions are approved as I've laid them out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Kosker.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to some players on our Rocky Hill High School girls basketball team. And if you're paying attention in any way, you might have seen it in the news and the newspaper, a couple newspapers. But on December 29th, Katie Harding and Kelsey LeMay, both seniors on the Rocky Hill High School girls team, both hit 1,000 career points, which is quite an accomplishment. And it turns out they both hit it in the same game in the 4th quarter within like a few minutes of each other. They were kind of like racing to get to 1,000, and it was very close, but they played. It was a win against Coventry. They won the game, and they were undefeated at that point. They did lose this past week and are currently at 7-1 with a very high rating in the state and have big plans and high aspirations for this year to go on to the state tournament. They're playing tonight actually at E.O. Smith. 8-1 now. 8-1. Okay, there you go. 8-1. Why? Is that tonight's win or? Tonight's win. I expected it to be a win. I didn't want to presume. But there you go. Latest and greatest, 8-1. But anyway, just a big shout out to Katie Harding, Kelsey LeMay, the 4-year starters, and been playing extremely well, along with the rest of the team. The team's doing really well this year. So that's all. Thank you.
Very good. Anyone else? No? Okay, so I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Thank you, Ms. Manella. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Clemens. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we're going to close out tonight. Thank you so much.
I think that should be Brian.